Hey, what's up guys, my name is Fox and welcome to another video. Big news, Amazon finally gave us the roadmap for April and May. Yes, we are already April, but we finally got it. We've waited long enough and now it's time to have a look at this roadmap and talk about this roadmap. Because obviously the game is becoming a bit stale for some of you, it's always the same thing every day, and now there's going to be a few change-ups in that, especially in May. Yet also in April, we'll have some new things to look at, and obviously I will give you my opinion on this roadmap, and also of course I have a little bit of criticism, but more on that later in the video. The first thing to talk about obviously is the new class that's going to come in April, which is the GLAIVIER class. Now the GLAIVIER class is already known obviously in other regions in Korea, Russia and Japan as the Lance Master or the Spear Master, and is another martial artist. This class has been very much anticipated by a lot of people, so I believe Amazon has listened to some feedback of what class people want to see and therefore also gave us then the GLAIVIER. Now do I believe this was a good choice? Yes, absolutely. Of course we want all the classes from other regions, and some of you might rather want something like the Summoner or the Scouter, but those classes will also come later down the road. From what I've gathered from my community too, I think a lot of people really wanted the GLAIVIER class as fast as possible. The class is very versatile, it is very fun to play, and therefore I believe it is a good choice to release it as the first new class for the game. The only thing I don't like about this is actually the name. I'm not sure why we have to rename every class and call it GLAIVIER here, when we could have just gone with the Lance Master or the Spear Master as it is known to most of the community. So that's really the only thing I don't like about this. But the GLAIVIER edition will not be the only update that we'll have in April. In order to also have more content for people that are not going to play GLAIVIER, we will have the South VERN continent added. Now keep in mind, South VERN by itself doesn't actually add new content to the game. There will not be any new raids, it will just be a storyline that is actually really great and I suggest paying attention to. I really did enjoy the story on Russia with the scuffed translation, so I'm very excited here to play through the South VERN story. All you need is a character of item level 1340 and then you too can experience the story of South VERN. Now what I also like about South VERN is that the story gives you a lot of card packs, so in my opinion it is definitely worth to actually run the South VERN story. The only question that I have here for Amazon that is very unclear is if we're also going to get chaos dungeons with higher item level requirements with the South VERN continent. The reason why this is personally so important to me is because at item level 1445, Chaos Dungeons usually start dropping relic or artifact gear, whatever you want to call it. This would of course cause another divide in between the high item level players and the lower item level players. Yet I also believe, due to the fact that no new gear was mentioned anywhere in the roadmap, I do assume this will not be the case and no Chaos Dungeons will be introduced, yet this is just speculation. For the rest of April we have a few more things, and specifically here an important thing is the VALTAN Power Pass. Now what is the VALTAN Power Pass? It will simply push your item level to 960 and complete all the stories up to VALTAN, including VALTAN, which is awesome in my opinion, because the only thing remaining for you to do to reach tier 3 is to push to item level 1100 and then do the Puneka story. This is a big quality of life obviously for people that want to play the GLAIVIER or the upcoming class in May. So personally, seeing the VALTAN Power Pass introduced here is super good and in my opinion something really nice. On top of that, they are talking about more and different in-game events and skins, which we are all waiting for obviously, and then obviously other quality of life improvements. One of the most important improvements here is the co-op play for secret maps. All 4 members can submit a map to get rewards within 1 run. This is really big because this also avoids people from scamming other people during map runs. I personally also have been a victim of getting scammed during a map run, and I'm sure some of you have too, and this will definitely get rid of this. So this is a very good quality of life improvement for everyone. Furthermore, chat tab settings are shared across a player's roster, and an improved book of coordination, which hints at a patch later, because this will be used obviously in the hell modes of the Legion raids, so that makes me a little bit excited. This is everything we have to go over for the month of April. Now let's have a quick look at what's to come for May. And number 1 on the list is another class. Now, as a side note, I believe releasing classes in a monthly pattern would be very good and faster than I have anticipated. I'm super happy to see that the second class released will be the Destroyer, because it's the only class I'm really impatiently waiting for. Obviously, I would love to see more classes, and I know the Destroyer might not be the most popular class, yet this makes me personally just very happy. So whatever you might think about the Destroyer being introduced, I'm just happy to see another class coming so fast into Lost Ark. But more importantly, something obviously for everyone is the introduction of the Trial Guardian raids. The Trial Guardian raids will be another weekly content that is going to pitch 3 Guardians against you in a weekly challenge. Basically, they will sink you down to the item level, and then you will get really good rewards. This is, by the way, some of the content we have been missing that has made the dead zone of 1340 to 1370 even worse. So I'm super happy to hear it is coming. It is just coming a bit late, and I wish this update would be coming in April already. So to anticipate it, in May we'll have the Trial Guardians too. Something I am really excited about that has not really been touched on a lot here by Amazon is the new quality of life changes that we'll get in May. For example, the ability to check daily and weekly content participation in a new menu. And that is insane. Not having to rely on third-party applications to check your dailies and weekly content is incredible, and something I am personally super excited for, because now we're getting the new QLs that Korea has received, and that is something that is really good. Lastly, we're going to talk about the tentative content. Now, before I talk about this, Amazon is mentioning this content might be delayed depending on their statistics that they are gathering from the player base. As they have said multiple times, they are monitoring the player base to check for item levels, to check for different things, how we are playing the game. So this is why they're saying these 2 updates are currently tentative. And when we're talking about the updates, this is going to be a new Guardian raid, the DESKALUDA Guardian raid that you might have already encountered on the Kadan storyline. If you haven't done that, you should definitely do that. And the Legion raid, VALTAN, normal mode and hard mode. Normal mode and DESKALUDA will require item level 1415, while hard mode for VALTAN will require item level 1445. Obviously, I'm super excited to hear about these 2 raids being introduced, because DESKALUDA is an extremely nice and smooth Guardian to farm on a daily basis, unlike Valganos, for example. DESKALUDA is really simple. She has also a heal in her kit if you do the destruction check. In general, DESKALUDA is a very comfortable Guardian to do on a daily basis. Now the question here, obviously, again with DESKALUDA and also VALTAN is it too fast? Is it too early? And this depends on how you're playing the game. I'm currently item level 1400 on my main. Now, could I reach 1415 for the end of May? Probably yes, but again, it might still be a little bit early. But I also understand that some people say, well, we've been sitting at this content now already for a month, we need new content, we need new stuff to tackle. So I also understand if someone is saying, well, we should get it as fast as possible. Yet you also have to always look at the majority of the player base, which is probably still in tier 2, but that is going to be the casual player base. By now, most people should be reaching tier 3 that are playing on a daily basis, and if you haven't, you might have just started late or you're doing something wrong, because playing daily and not having reached tier 3 is currently already really down the road. Overall, my opinion on the roadmap is that it is coming too late. Basically, I believe we should have had this roadmap a bit earlier, but I think everyone feels that way. On top of that, I feel like it could have been a bit more detailed. Instead of saying QL update, instead of saying we'll have the South VERN story, I want to know if there's going to be also the Chaos Dungeons. I think this is again a step in the right direction from Amazon. There is a lot, in my opinion, that they have to fix in our version of the game, to be honest with you. I wanted to make a video about this. I'm not sure if I want to make that video because it's not a positive video and I don't want to put all the negativity everywhere, but there's a lot wrong, in my opinion, in our version right now that would need some fixes that could be fixed easily by Amazon by just handing out more materials to players. But that is a topic for a different video. So again, roadmap is okay in my opinion, could have been more detailed, but in general I'm happy to finally have received this roadmap. Anyway, on that note, thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from this video, even if it was just a newsbreaker video. I will also, of course, link the article below in the description. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button. You can also check me out on my Twitter and on Twitch. I stream nearly every day during the week right now, talking about Lost Ark, obviously, playing the game, and showing you the kind of content that we are doing there, obviously. Now, with that said, wishing you all an amazing rest of your day wherever you live.